and welcome to Book Buzz, brought to you by the Peters Township Public Library. I am Miss Shannon.
And I'm Miss Linda. Excuse me. And we are back. This episode is all about books. Spooky books, October books that get you through this fun month. I love this month. I do like Halloween. I like this month. I like it for the spookiness. It's kind of cool. Although, and I've talked about this since I moved several years ago to the area that I am, I don't get any trick-or-treaters.
That's a bummer.
And where I lived before, I would sit out on the porch. I had so many trick-or-treaters. Yeah. Now I don't even have to buy candy unless I'm going to eat it. You know? So it's kind of a bummer. So the other day, I think it was like on Saturday or Sunday, because it was like an off show that I just had the TV on while I was getting ready. And I usually just have the news in the background, but it must have been one of the morning talk shows, weekend morning talk shows. And they had asked each other what was the scariest movie they'd ever seen. And they were bringing them up. And one guy, they're all the, celebs, mentioned, he was the last one to speak up, and he said a movie, and it was the exact one that I would have said, The Exorcist.
Oh, I'm not a fan.
I saw it once. I went to the theater when it came out. Okay, don't look at what year it came out because I'm not sure, but it was a date.
Oh, it was just.
It was creepy. I think pretty close to a first date, and that guy was smart because I was scared. I was hanging really close. I was in 10th grade.
Yeah,
I think. When that, oh, never. Sometimes you can watch one again, and now you've got kind of, never again. No.
I remember my college roommate watching it because she had never seen it, and we had
The Exorcist.
Yes, and we had DVDs at our school's library, and she checked it out to watch on the weekend, and I was like, I really don't want this on, but we were in your dorm room's not very big, so she had on, and I remember trying to just tune it out, but I could still hear her voice.
Oh yeah.
And trying to I just remember trying to lie in bed and cover myself up so I couldn't see it, but then actually listening to it is just as bad as watching it.
It is. It is. Yeah. That one. Oh no. I yuck.
No. I don't really like scary movies. I don't mind a movie that makes you think and it's kind of spooky, M. Night Shyamalan's movies tend to have a little bit of they make you think a little bit, a plot twist in the end, maybe a little bit. I don't want anything that's gross or gory.
Me neither. Or devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No thanks.
No. Possessed things.
No. Give me a cutesy Halloween stuff. Where's Casper? Where's Hocus Pocus?
All right, I'm with you. Oh, Hocus Pocus. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's watch that.
Okay. I agree. That changed my life forever. I think it might have scarred me a little because I'm scared.
You're
death
still
of
talking
that
about
movie.
it.
I know. I've never forgotten. I could tell you who I went with, what theater it was, probably where we sat. And I probably wasn't eating popcorn that day. Okay, so on that note of frightening books and movies, this is an article that I had. And I may have mentioned some of it last year, but it's always worth repeating because it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's called 10 Children's Books That Are Still Frightening to Adults. I am not going to read them all, but I do want to make mention of the date of this article. It was in a column by Meredith Borders, and it was dated August 15, 2012. So this is a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so, I'm sure that there's been scary books that have been out since that people are. But these are some really old ones, and you go, what the heck was that? And what they do is they give you a little blurb of what the book is about, and then why it scares adults. So I'm not going to do them all, but I'm just going to do a few. So the first one on here, and the reason I bring it up, because I have a book with me that we're going to talk about, that it's about a dollhouse. This is called The Dollhouse Murders by Betty Wren Wright. And I'm just going to read why it's scary. And of course, it's about a dollhouse. A 12-year-old Amy discovers an antique dollhouse in the attic, an exact miniature replica of her aunt's spooky old house. So right away. So it goes on, but why it scares adults, apparently, they think that it's devastating to contemplate the unresolved murder of loved ones. And Aunt Claire, who this house looks like, long suspected that her late fiance was to blame for her grandparents' death. Ooh. So that's creepy. So that's why it scares adults, because it would be heartbreaking to believe that your long dead husband-to-be murdered your family.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, plus
dollhouses and things with can be creepy.
Yeah, you know what? And it does say that. It says, plus dollhouses are creepy and dolls moving on their own at night, recreating the scene of a tragic murder over and over.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, I don't like the doll things either.
No. So I used to watch the TV series when I was growing up called Are You Afraid of the Dark? And that's about as scary as I could go.
I remember those.
Yeah, and there was a dollhouse one, and it was creepy.
Yeah.
I can still remember that one.
Ugh.
Okay, continue on.
Okay. So this one, I think, surprises people, that the original Grimm fairy tales they're dark. They're not the Walt Disney.
No.
So another book that's in here is Grimm's Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm, which is a collection of all of those stories. You've got Rapunzel, Hansel and Gretel, Cinderella, Snow White, blah, blah. And why it scares adults, because although Disney films have been turned, the concept of fairy tales into innocuous love stories filled with singing birds and happy endings, the Grimm brothers were all about bleak moral lessons and cruel punishments for the wicked. It's somewhat disturbing to consider that these stories in which children are eaten, princesses are comatose, and hearts are devoured were written for kids.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they're really dark. That was,
Speaking of dolls, I remember, I don't know if it was a Grimm version or what, but we had to read different versions of Cinderella in college.
Oh, I did too.
And one was, Cinderella, her mother, of course, she's an evil stepmother,
right.
So her biological mother has since passed away. Her mother in this version was like, when you come back to life, is that reincarnated?
Yeah.
As a doll. And she would go and talk to this doll and feed this doll, and it would tell her to do stuff.
Oh, that's really creepy.
I don't know how it tied into the Cinderella story, but that's the only part I remember was the creepy doll part.
That is
her mother
creepy.
was like a doll.
That's creepy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Continue.
All right, I'm going to do two more because this one blows my mind. Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. Little mischief-making Max is sent to bed without supper when a magical forest and sea grow in his room, carrying him to an island of his imagination, run by savage little beasts who throw a wild rumpus and crown Max king. So why it scares adults? And it said on there, it says boys cannot be trusted to run things, which is weird. And then it says, see the reason why the Lord of the Rings is
Lord of Flies.
Or Lord of the Flies, excuse me. Here it is. See that? An island run by wild, dirty boys, terrifying. Look at what happens when we leave boys to their own devices. Sorry, guys, in this room. Ritual sacrifices, severed pigs' heads, kids flattened by boulders. This is why we can't have nice things, boys. I didn't write this. This was on this article, so,
Well, I don't necessarily think that Where the Wild Things Are, but I will say some of Maurice Sendak's illustrations.
Oh, the illustrations. Yeah,
are creepy. That, I think it's The Night Kitchen. That one has really creepy illustrations.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah,
on a dark kind of creepy side. I don't necessarily think that one is, but I think some of his other ones are kind of creepy. So
all right.
I'll go with that.
Okay, this is the last one. The Witches by Roald Dahl. Excuse me. Boy lives with his grandmother after his parents pass away, and the two travel to a fancy hotel on holiday, only to discover that the hotel is the site of a convention of witches. The boy and his grandmother must team up to outsmart the diabolical crones. So why does it scare adults? Well, the hotel is overrun by mice. Ew. And okay, here's the problem. The mice that were once children before the witch's potion turned them into hairy little rodents. But still, a mouse infestation could ruin any luxury vacation. Plus, witches.
So, I have a story about the witches.
Okay. Yeah.
When I was in 3rd grade, Mrs. Zirkle, who I just found out recently passed away, so God bless Mrs. Zirkle.
Okay.
She read us The Witches. And this was 30 years ago. And I still remember to this date her reading this book, particularly the part where they describe witches.
Oh.
So in the book, they describe witches as they always wear wigs because witches are bald. So you'll notice they're always like scratching at their head because they have itchy wigs on. They always wear pointed-toed shoes because they don't have toes and they want to cover that up. So they always have pointed-toed shoes on. And they always wear gloves. And it has something, maybe they don't have fingers. I don't know why they wear gloves. But something,
toes, no fingers.
Yeah, something to cover up their hands.
Yeah.
And I remember as she's reading this scene, she would every day to start the class, she would read us a chapter of this book. And I'm sure she read us other books throughout the year too, but The Witch is what stands out, and it's because of this. But as she's reading this scene, she was describing all these different things, and we're looking at her, and wouldn't you know it, Mrs. Zirkle's scratching her head. Wouldn't you know it, she's got long satin gloves on. Wouldn't you know it, she sticks her foot out from underneath her desk and she like twirls her foot with her pointed-toed shoes on. And we're all like, oh, she's a witch!
Oh.
And she looked the part.
Oh,
like,
wow.
So she could, to this day, I'm not, I might be convinced that maybe she really was a witch.
Wow.
And maybe that's why. Like I said, when I just found out she recently passed away, and when I was little, I thought that she was really, really old at the time, only to find out that she really wasn't old. Not old, but kids' concepts of age are very, very different than reality.
Yeah.
But maybe she really was really old, and she lived forever because of her witching powers.
Oh, maybe. I think it's really cool how, talk about getting into a story and really making it hit home.
Yeah. Yes. To this day. Now. Like, I will, every time I see the cover of The Witches, I remember her reading that to us.
Yeah.
And,
sounds
like, and
creepy.
it didn't just stand out to me, because, like, I recently asked my closest friend, who was my friend since that grade.
Yeah.
And she remembered it too.
Really?
She's like, yes, remember how we all thought she was a witch? I'm still convinced maybe she is.
I love it.
Maybe that's why she lived as long as she did.
Yeah.
God rest her soul.
And she would read, and that was the book she chose to read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, speaking of books to choose to read, we've got some for you.
And I think that's a good story too, because I feel like, it's important to realize how it's so important to read to kids.
Oh, absolutely.
Out loud. And even older kids that are fully capable maybe of reading on their own, like reading aloud, like makes such an impact, and I've loved books since the time that I was, in 2nd or 3rd grade when I learned how to read and read well. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that my teachers did take that time out of their day to read orally to us. I just think it makes such an impact. So teachers, parents, that's my announcement. Reading a book to kids, they might still remember it 30 years later.
Absolutely. We're all about that.
Yeah.
Reading books.
Isn't that cool?
Do you want to start with
Sure. So I'm going to talk about some spooky stories for teens. This one can kind of go either way, though. So this is like a teen tween book. So,
oh, look at the cover.
Yes. So this is a twist on The Nightmare Before Christmas, which I am a Disney fan. I will say I do not like The Nightmare Before Christmas, but to each his own. I know it's very popular. So there's a whole line of different books that are twists on those Disney stories. They're not the Grimm's fairy tale version. They are literally a twist on the Disney adaptation. So the Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. This is Sally's story. So Sally is the girl in The Nightmare Before Christmas, Sally Skellington. She is officially newly minted the Pumpkin Queen after a whirlwind courtship with her true love, Jack. Sully adores Jack with every inch of her fabric seams. If only she could say the same for her new role as Queen of Halloween Town. Cast into the spotlight and tasked with all sorts of queenly duties, Sally can't help wondering if she's traded her captivity under Dr. Finkelstein for a different, albeit gilded cage. But when Sally and Zero accidentally uncover a long hidden doorway to an ancient realm called Dream Town, she unknowingly sets in motion a chain of sinister events that will put her future as Pumpkin Queen and the future of Halloween Town itself into jeopardy. So from what I know about The Night Before Christmas, this story is going to take place after. So it is like a sequel to the story. So so if you are a fan of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
My daughter is.
Yes, I know it's very popular for a wide age range. Then you might be a fan of Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. To see what happens next in Jack and Sally's story.
That's interesting.
So,
I'll have to get her that book.
Yep.
And see.
I think there's actually 2 of them.
Are there? Mm-hmm. I will look. Okay, so I'm excited about this series that we picked out, and the books and the concept itself is super popular. These You Choose books, so that you get choices along the way, that you make choices about how the story is going to go. And
I do like them.
And this one, as an example, the book has 29 choices with 15 endings. Here's what's really cool. They're all You Choose books, and they're Can You Escape? And this one happens to be Can You Escape a Haunted House?
Ooh, that's fun.
How fun is that?
Yeah.
So you step into a room of an old house. Suddenly you feel cold and a sense of sadness overtakes you. Then someone taps you on the shoulder. You look behind you, but there's no one there. Is a ghost in the room with you? Choose your own path as you explore some of the world's most haunted houses. Will you escape, or will terror overtake you? And it says find out in these pages. Now, this is a grouping, and I'll kind of show you, I'll just hold them up in a minute, grouping of haunted, a group called Haunted Adventures. And it's traveled to some of the world's hubs of paranormal activity, haunted hotels, cemeteries, battlefields, and more historical places that you may hold some of the world's most famous specters. Are you brave enough to face a paranormal encounter? Ooh. And you get to choose. So here I brought, you can hold that, haunted house. How about this one? Haunted theaters.
There's also an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark about that's sticking out. Yes, that was a scary one.
I don't know. It reminds me of Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
How about this one? This is creepy. A haunted museum. Look at the hand coming out.
The haunted hotel that you mentioned sounds really, because I always feel like, I don't know.
That would be
I feel
creepy.
like hotels are,
Yeah.
There could be lots of scary ones. Schools too. Oh, this one's a hospital.
Ooh. I know. How cool are they? And the covers alone, wow. You take a look at the cover and you go, oh my gosh, I think I want to read it.
And that's cool too, is there's nice big color photographs too to break it up.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun as well.
For sure. Yeah. So I think it's a great series to have. I'm excited about it. Oh yeah. Oh. When you see them out in the fog.
You see the ghost woman floating above the tomb. Why have you disturbed me, the woman demands.
Oh, I didn't. If anybody's doing any disturbing, she's very disturbing. So.
Okay, moving on. So I first talked about Long Live the Pumpkin King, which is a sequel in a sense to The Night Before Christmas. Serena Valentino writes a ton of books that are twists or prequels, if you will, or sequels to Disney stories. So this one is loosely going to be connected to the, now many versions of Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman have been out, and Disney of course did it as well with the Legend of Sleepy Hollow Hotel or Ichabod Crane years ago. So this is going to be about the Headless Horseman. It's called Raising the Horseman. The 200th anniversary of the Headless Horseman's legendary haunting of Sleepy Hollow is approaching, but Kat Van Tassel wants nothing to do with the town's superstitious celebrations. As a descendant of the original Katarina Van Tassel, Kat knows she's expected to live up to her ancestors' legacy by someday marrying her longtime boyfriend and running the prestigious family estate, but Kat dreams of a life outside of Sleepy Hollow. Then Kat meets Isadora, a new girl in town who challenges Kat to re-examine those expectations, open her eyes to the possibility that ghosts are real, and once makes her question who she truly wants to be and be with.
Wow.
So, The Raising the Horseman by Serena Valentino.
This is another good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got some good ones.
I think so. And again, this is also, her books, we do keep them in the teen area, but they are still very appropriate for a tween reader as well.
Good to know. All right, so the book that I'm going to bring up, The Winter of Dollhouse.
Oh.
So this speaks of everything that we just talked about.
Yes.
The scariness of a dollhouse, right? Scariness of a witch. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Winter of the Dollhouse. Newbery Medal winner Laura Amy Schlitz wrote this, and it goes like this. On a gloomy November night, 11-year-old Tiffany Stokes saves an old lady from collapsing in the street. An antique doll, here we go, named Gretel, watches them, longing for Tiff to rescue her from life in a shop window. Though none of these three characters realizes it, their worlds are about to change. Gretel will no longer be a precious prisoner. The old lady, is she a witch? Will discover the secret hidden in her long-neglected dollhouse. And Tiff, whose parents rejoice that she is never any trouble, will become a thief, a dog walker, an actor, and best of all, a friend. It's a captivating coming-of-age story that's touching, funny, beautifully layered, and a fairy tale ending. But I think with all of those, with a making of like creepiness, we've got talking dolls, moving dolls. We've got a potentially old lady witch.
And almost like a twist on Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and yeah.
Oh, that looks like a fun one, though.
Yeah, doesn't it, though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Kind of nice. All right, so there's mine.
Perfect.
I'm adding that.
Well, I don't think we could talk about spooky stories for youth without mentioning R.L. Stein. So R.L. Stein, most popular for writing the Goosebumps series, which is about my level of creepiness.
Okay.
Like I feel like that's where I kind of tapped out. He also writes books for older ages too. So this is one actually he wrote some of the stories in here. This is a collaboration of short stories, but also of other popular authors such as Meg Cabot, Heather Graham, Peg Heffert, wrote short stories too. So short stories are fun as well because you don't have to read the whole book. You can just read whatever looks interesting to you. So he helped write some of the stories, and then he edited the rest of them to create this 13 stories of suspense and horror by the book's called Fear, R.L. Stein and other authors. So if you want to read a quick, short, spooky story, this is a good way to go.
Oh, I like it. You get a little bit of everything.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you did that one because that is prompting me to do this one, Terrifying Takes on 15 Classic Tales.
Ooh.
It's called Scaring and Daring, a Horror Writers Association anthology. So this also includes, like yours does, all these different authors and one of their scary stories.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, one of their scary, and then at the end, I think you just passed it, then a little something about the author.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Terrifying Takes on 15 Classic Tales. Get ready for a terrifying spin on some of literature's most beloved tales. No story is safe. From Captain Hook's run-in with dark magic to Sherlock Holmes narrowly escaping graveyard spirits to a happily never after for Cinderella, this horror anthology is anything but a bedtime story, featuring tales from the New York Times best-selling authors. They list all these authors, and then it ends with, with many other authors. This collection will haunt you long after you turn the last page. So read on if you dare.
Ooh.
So that's it. That's a collection of creepy stories.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like that thought of just having, you could just read one and then you're done. And
Yeah.
But I like that they
because you can read all, or you don't have
Right.
to.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun too.
And that they give credit to each author.
Right.
Just a little bit. That's all they need. Okay.
So I'm going to go with something a little bit different. This is actually a graphic novel. Cracks me up. I kind of thought we were done with vampires, but we're not. It's called First Kiss with
funny.
Fangs.
Never.
So, here he is, the dentist, and the dentist is seeing that he's got, why do you have fangs? And then he goes to school, and of course he's going to, start to like the girl, but he's a vampire, so he's trying to, cover that up. So it's a graphic novel, so a little bit different, but still fun for that Halloween season. And I do like how the vampire character, he's always gray.
Oh, funny.
In all of it.
In all of them.
Yeah. So your first crush can be embarrassing, especially when you've got vampire fangs.
Oh, geez.
So Mark Snyder's First Kiss with Fangs. This is a brand new graphic novel. We just got it in, so I'm excited for that
fun.
one. Yeah.
That'll be a fun one.
It even has little on the back, has little hearts that have fangs on them.
Yeah.
So cute.
Oh, that is cute. Okay, so in all fairness to my younger kids, I wanted to at least throw in a picture book. And this is also kind of goes along with your wanting of a movie of maybe Casper or, something like that. Aggie and the Ghost, Matthew Forsythe. Look how cute.
Yeah.
The ghost is a little,
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about him.
Yeah, but
She's cute,
along
though.
the
Yeah.
lines of like a Casper. And let's see if we can find. But it looks like the ghost, obviously can change, his form into all that. That's cute.
Yeah.
Like the thing. So Aggie was excited to live on her own until she found out her house was haunted. So, that's cute though. And you go in here and that little guy is all around. So for the kids, here is Aggie and the Ghost.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Cute cover. And also brand new to our collection.
Nice.
We have like less than a minute. So do you have something quick?
Sure. So this one was also made into a TV series. So if you like, I always recommend reading the book first. And this is, I think it's one of 4 books, Lockwood & Co. This is the book 1, The Screaming Staircase. So this is about a group of teens that actually fight paranorma, like ghosts, that have not been able to cross over for whatever reason.
Oh, God.
So it says right there, it's a Netflix series. So they go and they fight them, and they're able to kind of, get them to help cross over and stop haunting all the places that they are haunting. Okay. The series was a little bit chill. I didn't read the book. I watched the show, which I shouldn't say that, but it's true.
That's okay. Well, we'll end on that fun note. So
some spooky
we have
reads.
Brought lots of spooky reads. So come into the library. These are brand new. Come and check them out.
Yep.
Until next month, we'll see you for November activities. So
Yep.
Here we go. Which one do you want to read first?
I want to read the